So free agency is risk. And I thought this morning, everybody thinks their guys are great. I don't like what the Jets did. I don't like it. New England, at tight end, I love what they did. And the rest of it feels like New England. Joe Tooney to the Chiefs is obviously a good move. They got to rebuild that O-line. Corey Linsley, Chargers. John Johnson, the safety to Cleveland. Those are good moves. Your units got better. There were predictable moves. But here's the 10 best, for different reasons, the 10 best free agent signings in the history of the National Football League.
Number 10.
Mike Vrabel to the Patriots 20 years ago. He'd never started an NFL game before signing with New England. He was the perfect fit. They won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. He became the glue guy and the IQ and the vocal leader. They even used him in the red zone on offense. He's the greatest value free agent ever. He'd never started a game. He went and became really a key component, a leadership, a Brady on defense, and didn't have to pay him anything. Like, he's the greatest value free agent ever, Mike Vrabel.
Number 9.
Kurt Warner, Cardinals, total culture changer. Losing franchise, he made him a winner. They had not won their division since the mid-'70s. And then Kurt Warner showed up for Arizona and changed everything. And he got him to a Super Bowl, and it was their first Super Bowl appearance. So he really changed the culture. Didn't win the Super Bowl, but, Arizona, from that point forward, we think of them as a competent franchise.
Number 8.
Charles Woodson to the Packers. It was much riskier than you think. Now, it turned out great, but Green Bay was the only team that bid on him because he had not played, believe it or not, he had not played a full season in the previous 4 with injuries. So you look at it now and think, oh, it's brilliant. Nobody else offered it. Now, he went on to become the Defensive Player of the Year. A couple years later, had 9 interceptions returned for a touchdown, while a Packer, which was most in the league. But it was riskier at the time than you think.
Number 7.
Warren Moon, 80s to the Oilers, a stabilizer. Here was this great quarterback who had to play in the CFL for years, and he really changed everything about Houston. They became an offensive juggernaut with Warren Moon. He stabilized the franchise, and they'd always had talent, but they just never felt like put together right. And he ended all the chaos in Houston.
Number 6.
The flashiest free agent signing of all time. You guys have, that's my bad. Rod Woodson Ravens back in 98. So he changed positions. So he became a safety and became a defensive playmaker. He was always a great player, great speed. But again, little bit of a risk. I'm going to change positions. But he really added an aggressiveness to the Ravens defense where they became a playmaking defense. Some guys just get interceptions. Ed Reed, Rod Woodson become offensive players once they get those interceptions. And he had 5 defensive touchdowns during his Ravens career, most of any player in the NFL during that span.
Number 5.
Okay, this is the flashiest free agent signing of all time. It was the Deion sweepstakes. Eagles, Raiders, Dolphins, Saints, Niners, Cowboys. Cowboys won their 3rd title in 4 years. Deion was fantastic. It was the biggest, flashiest, most outspoken star to the biggest, flashiest brand. Certainly one of the most talked about free agent signings. Prime time to the number 1 prime time television show in the NFL.
Number 4.
Reggie White to the Packers. Not a high risk. He was a dominating player. It was the first offseason that featured free agency in the NFL, and he was the first big free agent to change teams. He went to Green Bay, not a lot of risk. He was dominant. 6 playoffs, 6 Pro Bowls, 3 division titles, Defensive Player of the Year. This was one. Everybody saw it coming. He was great. First big star to switch teams, and he completely, utterly delivered.
Number 3.
Brady and the Buccaneers. Now, it's only a year old, and it got him a Super Bowl. They've always had talent, and they've always had decent coaching. But they had the worst winning percentage of any major American pro sports franchise. 17 years without a playoff win. So like Kurt Warner, he's a culture changer. Now guys are taking pay cuts to stay with Tampa. I would put that at 2.
Number 2.
Peyton Manning, because he did it longer. He got to 2 Super Bowls. And it was interesting, and this is why I give Peyton credit. He replaced a popular quarterback. People in Tampa were kind of done with Jameis and his interceptions. Tim Tebow, especially conservative, the GOP. I mean, Denver can get conservative. They loved Tim Tebow. And Elway was trapped. So he had to get a bigger star than Tebow to kind of save the franchise from what they viewed as a niche college quarterback who'd gotten on a hot streak in the NFL. So Peyton, number 2.
Number 1.
Drew Brees. I mean, end of story. Not only did he change the culture from a losing culture, he overcame Katrina. He's been huge for the community. He was seemingly there forever. It's one of the winningest franchises. Listen, of all the free agent signings this year, don't take it personally. None of you are going to get Drew Brees. Like, there will not be a free agent signing as good as Drew Brees this year. Best of luck to Corey Davis and the Jets. Fine player, but it's not going to be Drew Brees, the greatest free agent signing and frankly, easily of all time. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.